Hey, how's it going, team? Hopefully, everyone can hear me out there. I'm about to go ahead and do a training to explain the concepts of open line bonuses, reports, and also kind of like an advanced comp training. This is just for our leadership, and I wanted to do this, and I figured I'd record it so anybody new getting into the business or at a later point in time, if you want to review this material, it'll always be out there. I'm literally sitting on the edge of my bed and I said to myself, why not use the next few minutes to go ahead and explain this to everyone, record it, and so then that way all of us can go back and refer to this information. So I created like a little kind of like a cheat sheet of all the things that I'm going to go through. So the first thing I want to do is just to kind of step through the 2-page compensation plan breakdown. Now, I'm recording this on June 4th, 2016. So things could change in the future, but at least for right now, as long as I keep this video up, this stuff is current. So let me go ahead and actually share my screen. Let's see. Hopefully this will look right. Give me one moment, guys. I'm going to actually share. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to actually share. I'm going to start off sharing all the positions. So let's go ahead and do this. Boom. All right. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and kind of step through, and let me see if I can actually zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit better. I'm going to actually step through the different positions of 5 links and how to achieve each position, because this has changed, I would say, over the past year or so. So we definitely want to make sure that we're current. I want to make sure each of you guys not only know how you get to the next position, but how you can help your team advance, because the more you help them, the more you help yourself. So, of course, when you get started, you're a QIMR. Let me make sure that's zoomed in. Right. So you're a QIMR. You're just getting started. Now, in order to become qualified, you already know that you need 8 customer points. And at least one of those points needs to come from a person other than the rep who's in. So, again, the recommended way that I suggest that people come in, especially if they're not sure, show them how to make sure that they get Platinum Discount Network, which is 4 points. Make sure they also get the Smart Builder, which is another 2 points. And then for the remaining 2, the best service that I suggest getting would be the combo pack of the Montevita tea and the Montevita coffee. Before shipping and tax, it's $34.95. So altogether, if you're adding everything up, the license is $199, the Platinum Discount Network is $49.95, and then the Smart Builder is about $55, and then the other one is $34.95. So if you're adding everything up, I would say conservatively, you want to let that rep know that they're going to be investing about $350 on the low end. And then ideally, you really want them to come in with a combo pack. So either a basic, a leader, or a VIP combo pack, because those pay out more bonuses. And I'm going to get into that after this. But anyway, again, make sure that when people get started, they come in as a qualified IMR with 8 customer points. Now, if you're also, of course, follow along. The benefits, of course, for that rep who's coming in is you want to let them know, look, you can qualify for your $200 quick start bonus. And our ongoing promotion is that this will actually turn into $1,000. It's $200 up front and then $100 per month over the next 8 months. Of course, you know that already. But in order to achieve executive trainer, make sure all of your new reps understand, hey, this is what you want to do, not only in your first 30 days, help them do this in their first week or 2 weeks. And that is, of course, they want to get 2 frontline qualified IMRs. That means they need 2 people with a minimum of 8 customer points each, of course, 1 coming from an outside household. And then that individual needs to get up to at least 15 customer points. Okay. Again, going through all the services, getting on all their own services, and of course, getting at least 1 outside customer. Now, as an ET, you actually have the ability, first off, if you are the person going for ET in your first 30 days, not only do you get this bonus, but the upline actually gets a $40 check match if that's done in that new rep's first 30 days. Okay. Now, of course, here is where it gets a little tricky because I know many of us watching this video, you guys are executive trainers. Many of you are very close to executive director. We do have some executive directors who are watching this as well. So here's where it gets a little bit foggy, but I'm going to go ahead and clarify it for you. So as an executive director, in order to jump from executive trainer to executive director, you want to make sure you have 4 separate lines with a qualified IMR in them, okay? So that means you have a rep here who might be a QIMR. You have another rep here who might be who's a qualified IMR. Then you need a separate leg of ET and another leg of ET. So the minimum amount of reps that you need in order to hit ED would be 8. And so here's what I'm going to do, guys. I actually found this website. Let me make sure this is coming up correctly. You guys can see it. Found a website called bubble.us. That's without the E. But this is super cool because I'm going to show you guys how you can literally hit ED, okay? So let's just say this is you. You're just getting started. Let me see if I can actually zoom in. Here we go. Zoom in for you guys. Okay. Let's say this is you. You're just getting started. And in order for you to hit executive trainer, you already know, let's say you sponsor Mary. All right. All right. And you have, let's just say, of course, you already have 15 customer points minimum. And let's just make this 20 points. You want to at least get to 20 points. Okay. So that's you with 20 points. You help Mary get her points. Let's say she has 10. And then you also sponsor John. Okay, let me see if I can get John in there. You have John. John has, let's say John's an overachiever. He has 25 points, right? Okay, so this is a great place to start off with. So what this does is this makes you an ET because you have these 2 people who've come in. Of course, each one of them has an outside a customer other than themselves, at least one. And the same goes for you. So this makes you an ET. If you did this in your first 30 days, that would churn out a $200 bonus, and then you'd be getting $100 per month over the next 8 months, okay? So now, in order for you to go from here to hit ED, okay, let's go back here. To hit ED, you need 4 lines of a qualified IMR. Here's what that means. Let's go to our bubble. So in order to go from here to ED, all right, let me go ahead and get rid of this so not to confuse anyone. So to go from here to hit ED, you need, oh, hold on, it's telling me I'm no longer signed in. Of course, let's see. Let's go ahead and get back in. Okay, so to hit ED, let's say you sponsor Bob, okay? Bob comes in, he has 8 points, okay? And he has an outside customer because you're doing it right. And let's say you also have Sue, of all these simple names. Sue, let's say she has 12 points, okay? What does this do? I'm assuming that each one of these people, because you're bringing them in correctly, you're making sure they have their outside customer. Let's just assume each one of these people has an outside customer. This means that, no, you're not an ED yet. You're still an ET, but you have 4 lines of qualified IMR. This is a line, this is a line, this is a line, and that's a line. You have 4 lines. So now here's a perfect world scenario. Let's say, first off, let's say Mary gets her 2 qualified IMRs. Hold on. Let's say she has Kate, who has 8 points. And let's say, wait, hold on. Let me zoom out. So we're getting bigger now. This is what happens. So let's say, What did I do? Hold on. Let me undo. Undo. Okay, here we go. All right. So let's say Mary has Kate, and let's say Mary also puts Joe in. And let's say Joe's another overachiever. He comes in with 30 points. Maybe he's a business owner. Maybe he just knows a lot of people, but he's on fire. Well, first off, we already know this does not make Mary an ET. Why? Reason why is she needs 15 points. Because if you remember, to hit ET, you need 15 personal customer points, okay? So I want to make sure your brains are moving on this, guys. So here you go. So you have Mary. You want to make sure, let's say she gets a couple of customers. She gets an enhanced care, which is currently 4 points. And she gets, let's say she gets a platinum discount network. So that brings her to 18 points. Now she's an ET, okay? Mary's now an ET. These two are qualified. Well, now, how many reps away are you from executive director? Well, to be an executive director, you personally need a minimum of 20 customer points, right? And you also need, again, 4 lines of qualified IMR with 2 separate lines of an ET. So you have 1 line of ET, but you don't have a second line of ET, but you do have your 4 qualified IMR lines, okay? This would be a qualified IMR because she's an IMR or higher. So the next person, let's say you put in the next person, you're trying to figure out where they go. As a leader, what you guys should also understand is that when you're bringing someone in, don't immediately worry about where they go. I always suggest if you're bringing someone in, put them in on your front line. So let's say this is your new person, and let's call her Nancy. Nancy, the new person, right? So Nancy's brand new. She has 8 points. You're not going to keep, let me move this over. You're not going to keep Nancy on your front line. You actually have 3 business days to make a decision in terms of where Nancy goes. So looking at your structure, where would the most sense be to place Nancy? Would it be under John? Okay, let me get rid of Nancy here. Would it be under John? Would it be under Bob? Or would it be under Sue? It would definitely be under John because he has the points. So let's go ahead and place Nancy under him. Nancy comes in with, let's say she comes in with 12 points. She flipped some of the services in her home. She got a couple of outside customers. So Nancy has 12 points. So that's under John. Well, guess what? You are 1 person away from ED. But let's just say Nancy puts another person in because look, it's not always going to be perfect. Let's say John can't find someone else, and maybe John had a personal issue, a death in the family. Something happened to John and he didn't make it happen. You didn't put anybody in, but let's say Nancy is on fire, right? Nancy puts in her mother, who is Bertha, right? Bertha gets in. Let's say Bertha has 10 points. Let's say Nancy puts in her husband, which is James. James comes in with 8 points. And let's make it super realistic. So let's say Nancy puts in her best friend, running out of names, Jasmine. But let's say Jasmine doesn't really do much. She just gets her 4 points. She's not coachable. As soon as she comes in, she doesn't get qualified. Well, what does that do? What that does, first off, no one's qualified. Look, Nancy is a qualified IMR, so is Bertha. Let's assume James is. But Nancy's not an ET for 2 reasons, or for 1 reason, because she doesn't have 15 points. Okay? So in order for you to hit ED here, you have your 4 qualified lines of IMR. You have an ET here. John can't hit ET. He's not benefiting on this production. And Nancy isn't ET yet because she doesn't have her 15 points. So let's say you call Nancy. You're like, look, Nancy, tell you what, you got to get your 15 points. When you do that, you're going to hit ET. You want to personally help Nancy get these points. You want to really Call Nancy, do what you can. If she's nearby, drive over there, help her get those 3 points. Because not only will that promote her, but it will promote you to executive director. So let's say Nancy finally gets the 3 points, begrudgingly. She makes it happen. Well, guess what? Nancy is an ET, Mary's an ET, and you have your 4 lines of qualified IMR. What does that mean? That means you're an executive director. Okay. And now you also have these organizational customer points required. At least 20% must be from services. This is very easy to do. I almost don't even pay attention to it because let's see how these numbers add up. It says 100 cumulative customer points. So if you're doing the math, it's 20 points here, 18 points here, 25 points here. I mean, if you're adding it up, that's 20 plus 25, that's 45. This makes it 63 points. Just by Joe, that would make it 93, and that alone puts you well over 100. And honestly, when you're putting people in, people should definitely sign up on their own services, including internet, including cable TV, satellite TV. Eventually, when we come out with Turvy and many of these other products, these are all services. The services add up. So it actually says here that at least 20% must be from services. That means you only need 20 points out of services. It's very simple to do. So this makes you an executive director, okay? And the reason why I did it like this, guys, it's not perfect. So even if John's not an ET, it doesn't matter as long as you have an ET in that leg. So this could be many levels deep. You could have, let's see if I can do this. I don't think I could do this. Nah, let's not worry about it. But I think you guys get the point. And I'm actually going to come back to this chart in a little bit, but I want to make sure that you guys understand how to get to each position. So for all of the executive directors watching this, how do you get to national director? Okay, same concept. It says 6 lines of qualified IMR with at least 3 of them being an executive director. Okay, it's not as complicated as it seems. You just have to replicate what you've been doing. So going back to this bubble tree, to become an executive director, okay, I'm a national director, you need 6 lines. Right now you have 4. So once you're an executive director, I always suggest that 5th or that 6th person that you put in on your front line should be your own position again. This is kind of an advanced concept, but it could really help you earn a lot of income. So check this out. All right. Let's say you put in another person on your front line. As soon as you hit ED, I suggest putting in yourself again. So let's say this is your personal position right here. This is your business position. So I'll say you is because this is your business position. Of course, you're going to make sure you bring yourself in qualified. Okay. You're coming in with 8 points, guns blazing, getting new customers, and that's you. And a great time to put this position in is when you have another person ready to go. So you tell your friend, let's say you have a friend, your best friend who is, let's call her Linda, okay? Linda's about to get in. So you immediately put your position in and then put Linda underneath you, okay? What does that do? Now you're only 1 person away from hitting your $200 bonus and really your $1,000 bonus in your first 30 days under your biz. All right. You find someone else because you're on fire. You find George. You make sure that they're both in qualified. Linda, let's say Linda's a rock star. She has her 14 points immediately. George has his 8 points. And now you've hit ET again. Okay. How many qualified lines of IMR do you have? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's put in another one. So a good concept, and let's say you're about to bring in someone else, you can either help Linda, you can help George, or you can help yourself. It just kind of depends. Let's say Linda is still brand new. She's on fire. She's really doing her thing. Let's say by week 2 or week 3, she's got herself to 34 points. Okay. Let's say George is kind of there at 8. Would I give my new rep to Linda, George, or would I add another line? It kind of depends. You may consider giving it to Linda. I always say, especially if it's family, I always put it on my front line. Just my preference. You don't want family to be producing a whole lot and it's not on your front line. It can get kind of ugly. So let's just say you put in another person, you put that on your front line, okay? Now you have Tim, okay? Tim is on your front line. He has 8 points. So now you have your 6 qualified lines. And let's say Tim, this is getting fun. Let's say Tim, Tim gets his best friend, Mike. Mike has 12 points. Tim is having issues getting his points, but let's just say Tim brings in someone else. Let's see. Can I add someone here? There we go. Tim brings in Suzanne, and that's that. Okay. So here's where you are. I'm sorry. In order for your biz to hit ET, you need, let's just say you have 16 points. You need a minimum of 15. So because of all this, and hopefully you guys can still see that, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 qualified lines, but you need 3 of them to be ED before you hit ND, okay? So you need to help Mary or someone in this line or someone in this line and someone in that line hopefully hit ED. So over time, let's just say this happens, okay? You got this person here. Let's just say Rebecca, okay? And because I want you guys to understand that this is probably never going to be perfect. You're never going to have it so that everything works out perfectly. But things do eventually work out. So let's say Harry comes in. He has 17 points. Let's say you're still working. You're trying to make things happen. Let's say you stick someone else underneath here. And I'm just kind of going fast. So obviously there's a, say Jorge, right? Okay. Let's just say eventually you have Tashina. And let's say Tashina is a rock star. She comes in. Actually, no, let's say Tashina is not a rock star. But Tashina brings in, oops, hold on. Let's say Tashina brings in Lisa. Lisa's a rock star. Lisa is on fire. She comes in, she gets 50 points. She brings in, she has her ED structure set. So she has, I'm just going to call them initials. She has R. She has J. She has H. And she has, let's move this over. She has L. Okay. And then let's say she finds a way to get that person Q. That person also gets H again. All right. This person gets Z. And this person gets X. Right. Just a real world or kind of a different scenario, right? Did I do that right? Hold on. Okay, let's say she gets Z, and let's say J gets X, right? So in this structure, this is an ED, right? Assuming this person has 15 points, this person has 15 points. She's an ED. Let's say James ends up putting someone in. Let's say Raquel does exactly what Lisa does, and she hits ED, right? And then, so this is one leg of ED, because that's from one leg. This is another leg of ED. And let's say Suzanne, I don't know, knows the mayor of DC, okay? Let's say the mayor hits ED really fast. Well, guess what? This is an ED because this person has 20 points and they have the ED structure. Raquel's the ED because she has the 20 points in the structure. Lisa obviously has 50 points. She's a rock star. She's an ED. Does that make you an ND yet? No, because you need a minimum of 25 points. See? As an ND, you need 25 points. These will happen organically, but you need 3 separate lines of ED with 6 lines of qualified IMR. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of qualified IMR. You have an ED way down in this leg. You have Raquel, who's way down in this leg. And you have an ED down here under Suzanne. Now, once you get at least 25 points, boom, that makes you a national director. And so obviously we could go all the way to senior vice president. That's not really necessary for this training, but I wanted to at least help you understand a little bit better how things can work out. I know that was kind of long, but I wanted to make sure that that was clear. Okay, so now let's bring the camera back to me. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully that made sense, guys. Now, what I want to actually break down to you guys really quickly is the concept of open line. I know we're getting kind of detailed in advance, but I want to make sure that this is clear. So here's how open line works. Let's go ahead and bring the bubble tree back. Okay. All right, here's our bubble tree again. So here's how the concept of open line works. Open line is a term that pretty much allows you to really maximize the compensation plan. So when there is nobody between you and the customer or the business partner coming in that shares your position, it's considered open line. Let's make some examples. That's why I have this thing out here. So let's say, okay, let's just say in this case, let's go ahead and zoom in. Oops, let's leave that there. Okay, let's zoom in. Okay, we're gonna say, let's say Mary is you. So we're gonna change the name Mary to you, okay? You're an ET, and let's say this is your structure. Let's say Rebecca has 4 points, and you're an ET. You're on your way to ED, but you're not quite there yet. Let's say this person has 2 points, okay? So you're an ET because this person has an outside customer. They have 8 points. Joe has 30, and Rebecca has 4. No one else here is a leader. So this person is a qualified IMR. This person is a qualified IMR. This person is just a regular IMR, not qualified. Regular IMR, not qualified. Zoom out a little bit. And this person is a regular IMR, not qualified, okay? Now, see, here's the thing. Doesn't matter that there's an ED under here, even though that'll help you later on down the line. But for all intents and purposes, you're still an ET because this is your structure. And let's just say Tashina is just an unqualified IMR because she only has 1 point. She's not really doing much, okay? So, it's bothering me. Okay, so this is your structure. So you as the ET, when, let's just say, Kate brings someone into 5 links. If she brings someone into 5 links, guess what? That is open line to you because there is no ET between you and the person being brought in. So let's say Kate brings in her friend, Beth, right? Beth gets qualified with 8 points. Well, what happens is you're going to get the cab bonus. You're going to get the ET cab bonus. So let's kind of skip ahead. Cab bonuses are paid out like this. Where are the cabs? Customer acquisition bonuses right here. So the cab bonus on that new person coming in as an upline ET is $20. It says up to, but you're going to get that full $20 because you're the only ET in that leg. See, Beth comes in. She's not an ET. but you are, so you're going to get that 20 bucks, okay? So let's get rid of that example. Now, let's just say Beth comes in, but instead of just coming in, she gets the basic bundle pack. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, that means that if she gets the basic bundle pack, not only will she get 5 points for the bundle pack, but she's also going to get Platinum Discount Network, which is the only way that the bundle packs really work. They have to come in and get the Platinum Discount Network. So that's 4 points for the Platinum Discount Network. So that's 9 points. But what does that do for you? Okay, Beth comes in, she has 9 points. Why is it important to you? Not only her that she gets her business supplies, it's important to you because by getting that basic bundle pack, you are not only going to get that $20 cab, but here's another way we get paid. We get paid on the bundle packs. So when someone comes in and they get the basic bundle pack, Beth paid the $249 and she paid the $49.95 for the Platinum Discount Network as the enroller. All right, depending on who's the enroller. Let's say you didn't put Beth in. Let's say Kate put Beth in. Okay, Kate put Beth in. Just by Kate putting Beth in, you're still going to get the $20 bonus because that's your cab. You're the ET. But Kate, as the sponsor and the enroller, Kate is going to get $50. She enrolled the person. But because you're the upline ET, you're also going to get another $10 because that's the basic, okay? So let's change this. Let's say this was the leader bundle pack, okay? Well, the leader bundle pack is actually 10 points if that person also gets Platinum Discount Network. So Beth comes in with the leader. That's 10 points plus the Platinum Discount Network. So 10 plus 4 is 14 points. Not only that, but here's what that does again for Kate. What that does for Kate is, first off, Beth is paying that $4.99. Kate gets the $100 for enrolling Beth at the $4.99 level. And because you're the upline ET, you're getting $20 on that. Okay? And then so on and so forth. If Beth got in at the VIP bundle pack, if she got the Platinum Discount Network, that'd be 20 points. Plus the 4 for the Platinum Discount Network, that's 24 points. So obviously she's putting herself in a position to win. On top of that, Kate is gonna get 200 bucks. All right, and that pays out immediately. You as the upline ET get $40 for something that you didn't even have to do. You're gonna get $40 because you're the upline ET, and you're gonna also get the 20 because of the cab bonus over here. So it can get really lucrative. Now, let's just say, instead of Kate putting in Beth, let's say you put in Beth at, let's just say, the leader. You put Beth in as with the leader pack. She gets $10 for that because she got her Platinum Discount Network. That's 14 points. Kate, actually, if you had put this person in under Kate, which you could, but if that person is put in under Kate, you as the enroller, you get the enroller bonus. So you get the $100 plus you get another 20 because you're also the upline ET. That's why it's so important to get promoted, because you're going to get 120 just out of bundle pack bonuses, plus you're going to get another 20 as the upline ET getting the cab. These are separate bonuses. So you're going to get a total of $140 based on putting someone in under the leader pack as an ET. Imagine if you did 2 of those a week. That's $280. All right. So a lot of times people are thinking, well, if I put someone in under someone else, am I losing out? Absolutely not. So there's really a way for all of us to win. Okay. So all that being said, let me zoom out again, because now I'm going to explain open line. That's going to make a little bit more sense now, because there is nobody between you and these people coming in who also shares your position as an ET. But let's just say, for instance, Harry becomes an ET. Harry, actually, let's make George an ET. George hits ET because George is like, look, let me make this thing happen. George gets 20 points. Let's say he gets 19 points. Okay. And George puts in his wife. Hold on. What did I do? George puts in his wife. Gertrude. And George also puts in Jose. Okay. So let's zoom in on George. Let's move him over too. All right, let's zoom in on George. So now, obviously, in order to hit ET, Gertrude needs to be qualified. Let's say she has 9 points with an outside customer. Jose has 12 points because he has an outside customer. George is now an ET. Both of these reps are QIMRs, qualified IMRs, okay? So here's the thing. You zoom out again. This is you again, okay? You're up here. So it doesn't matter how complicated it might seem. It's really simple because you're an upline ET. This is your organization. So as the upline ET, and let's move all this over here because this doesn't matter to you. All that matters to you is what's going on from you down. Even if your upline quit, and this isn't you anymore, this is someone else. This is your upline, okay? But even if your upline quit, all that matters is what you do down, okay? So let's say this is your organization. You as the upline ET, your goal is to get to ED as quickly as possible. Here's how you could be losing out on hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. As the upline ET, you earn income every time a customer or a business partner comes in through underneath Kate, underneath Harry, or underneath Tashina, with the exception of Lisa. That's because Lisa is actually a higher position than you. But even if Lisa was an ET, you still wouldn't earn income off of Lisa's production because you guys share the same leadership position. But you could earn income when Beth brings in a customer or business partner. Same with Tashina, same with Harry, same with Kate, same with Joe, and same with Rebecca. What happens with George? Well, you two share the same position, so you don't earn income off of what George produces. So that's why you're running to ED. You still help them, you still support them, it's still your organization, but you need to run like crazy to ED because this is not open line to you. So I'll give you a good example. Let's say George closes a ginormous energy deal, right? Or let's say even Jose, let's say these guys have connections. George is a property manager. He knows people in high places. He scores a huge energy deal. This deal pays, I don't know, it's maybe on 100 meters. Each meter is 2 customer points. So let's say that brings him up to 219 points. His residual goes through the roof. And let's say he taught Jose to do the same thing. Jose got another energy deal. He's at 122 customer points. And they're making a killing, right? They're each making a killing. So unfortunately, even though these guys are in your downline, because he's an ET, and even though this person's an IMR, guess what? If Jose brings in this deal, and even if Jose brings in Bob, and Jose also brings in Joe, and Jose also brings in Ariel. I was thinking of the Little Mermaid. If Joe brings in, and let's say Ariel brings in Franny, and let's say Franny brings in let's see, Franny brings in Mo, right? You got all this stuff happening. Well, guess what? Joe is earning income off all the customers and all the points that are coming in. Because you guys share the same position, though, it's almost like the computer checks. The computer says, okay, Ariel came in. Who's the upline ET? That would be George. Who's the upline ED? Well, that skips over you. It goes up to the upline, because even though there's no ED here, this person gets the upline ED and the ND bonuses. You don't get that because you and George share the same position. So that is not open line. This is considered a closed line. This is leadership. So you have to build in your open line. That means around here, and preferably you need to get to ED again. Let's go back up. To get to ED, what do you need? To get to ED, you need 4 lines of qualified IMR, 2 of which are ET. So to get to ED, this one needs to be, you really need another line of IMR. So that would be my next rep. My next personal rep would be like, all right, I need to put someone in like right here. So this could be John. All right, now you're in position. John becomes a qualified IMR because he has 9 points. All right, and your goal is to have, now you already have at least 1 ET in this leg. You actually have 2 in this leg. All right, you have this person and that person, but this is just one line of qualified IMR, where one of which is an ET somewhere down in that line. So this is one of your ET legs. So we'll call this ET leg number 1. Hopefully I'm not losing you guys. All right. So that's ET leg number 1, but you don't have a second leg of ET. So let's say you help Joe. Let's say you know somebody named Susan. She comes in with 8 points. You tell Joe, look, let's hurry up and get you to ET. Let's make it happen. Boom, boom, boom. You want to really help Joe get to ET, because once you help him get to ET, it almost promotes you to ED. Let's see what happens. Let's say Joe puts in someone else. You put Susan underneath him, but let's say you help him put in, or he puts his twin brother Rick in, right? Rick gets in with 10 points. Does that make you an ED yet? No, because unfortunately, let's move this out the way. Hold on. That doesn't make you an ED yet for 2 reasons. Number 1, you don't have 20 points. Number 2, Rebecca's not qualified. She only has 4 points. So you want to, first off, of course, you want to make sure you get as many points as you can. Let's say you get it together, you have 22 points. Does that make you an ED yet? No, because you still have to help Rebecca. Rebecca gets her 8 points. Guess what? This now makes you an ED. Why? The reason why is because you have an ET leg here. Even though Kate's on an ET, Harry's not an ET yet, Tashina's not an ET, Beth is not an ET yet because Beth only has 14 points. She has George, but guess what? George is an ET. So you have an ET here and an ET there. You only needed 1, but that's 1 ET leg. Your second leg is this leg. This leg is now an ET leg because Joe has Susan and Rick. All right. And then you also have your second leg of qualified IMR and your third leg of qualified IMR. Okay. So this makes you an ED. I hope I haven't confused you guys. Obviously, I've been in this business for a while, but eventually you're going to really understand this. This is something that you'll get as time goes on, okay? So that should really help kind of clear things up. Now, so what I want to do is kind of just segue on. The rest of this training won't be as complicated, hopefully. But let's bring the screen back to me. Let me make sure that we are clear. So we're almost done. The last thing I'm going to kind of go ahead and cover, let's go ahead and do this, is I'm going to review the 10 ways that we get paid really quick, lightning fast, because We all have access to this information, but it should make everything else that I explained kind of come together. Okay. Let's go ahead and share this again. All right. So where I'm getting this, and we should all know where this information is, this is out of our back office. Okay. This is the 2-page compensation plan breakdown. This actually comes with every new reps kit as well. So this is the first page. This is the second page. So we already kind of went through how to get to each level: qualified IMR, ET, ED, and ND. And you want to make sure you review this with your team, especially your emerging leaders, as they start hitting leadership positions. Second page goes through the 10 ways you get paid with 5 links. So obviously, it's helping new reps get to their quick start bonus. Okay. Executive trainer in 30 days. Even if they don't do it in 30 days, help them make it happen, because this is how you promote yourself. This is how you eventually hit SVP, Platinum, and Diamond. Okay. Quick start bonus. 2 qualified reps, 15 customer points for yourself. You're going to get 200 up front, and then with the promotion, $100 per month over the next 8 months. Second way we get paid are through check matches. So this means that when you hit ET in your first 30 days, all right, or let's say you help someone in your downline hit ET in their first 30 days as the upline ET, you're going to get $40. Okay. The upline ED gets $40. Upline ND gets $40. Upline SVP gets $40. The upline PSVP gets $40. Here's the sweet part of the comp plan. This is why you want to run to ED. Because if you get to ED, here's what happens. Let's say as an ED, you help someone get into the business. If you help someone get into the business at ED, all right, and they hit ET in their first 30 days, not only are you going to get the $40 at ED, but if there's no ET in between you, if it's completely open line, you're going to get another 40. Here's how it works in real world scenario. All right. Back to our complicated diagram. Let me go ahead and let's see. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit easier to look at. She has her points over here. 1 second, guys. Let's bring this over here. Okay. All right. It's a little bit easier to look at. Okay. Let's say you're an ED, right? And your organization doesn't have to be nearly this big. Matter of fact, let's take that out, and let's just say this person, 1 second. Let's say this person has, why is it doing that? Let's say Harry has Joe. Running out of names, guys. All right, let's say Harry has Joe. Let's say Tashina's a qualified IMR. Let's say Joe has 9 points. He's a qualified IMR. And okay. Well, anyway, this is an ET because these 2 people are qualified. Beth and Harry are qualified. So let's say this is you. You have your 22 points. This is your organization. So let's say you bring in someone, right? Let's say you bring in your cousin, right? And what did I say? My philosophy is if you bring in family, preferably they go in on your front line, okay? So let's say you bring in a family member. They're on your front line. So let's say this is your sister, Daisy, right? Your sister, Daisy, comes in. Daisy's on fire. She gets her 15 points, right? And you're telling her, look, Daisy, get to ET in 30 days. Get to ET in 30 days. So she puts in John. John gets in, instead of John, let's say Wanda. Wanda gets in. She gets the VIP pack plus her platinum discount network. She has 24 points. Not only do you get, you're the upline ED, so you're going to get the bundle pack bonus on that. And the bundle pack bonus on a VIP pack, even if you didn't enroll, you're going to get the $40, right? You're going to get $40 on that. Okay, hold on. And so let's say Wanda got the VIP. But there's no ET between you guys. So you're also going to get another 40. Reason being is because there's no ET between you. So you also get that 40. The enroller is Daisy because Daisy put Wanda in. So Daisy's going to get 200. You're going to get 80. Daisy's going to get 200. Okay. Also, because there's no ET between you and Wanda who got in, you're also going to get the full cab payout. You're going to get, as the ED, you're going to get the $20 here, and you're going to get the $40 here. So you're going to get, let's see, you're going to get $60, okay? So you're going to get $60 because, again, there's no ET between you two. This means this is totally open line to you. Even if Daisy was an ET, it would still be open line, but you're getting all of the cabs, okay? And on all the bonuses. All right. So, and then let's just say Daisy hits, let's say Daisy hits ET because let's say she gets Xavier in, right? Xavier gets in, he gets his 8 points. This happens in 30 days. She gets her bonus. Well, what does that do? This means that you're going to get a check match. But since there's no ET between you and Daisy, she's the new ET, but there was no existing ET, you're going to get the ET check match and the ED check match. So what that means is you're going to get, where's the check match section? You're going to get the $40 for the ET check match and another $40 for the ED check match. So that's another $80. So I just really wanted to make clear how lucrative this can get, because you're not even doing the work at this point. You're just training her. But even as these folks, let's say Wanda hits ET in her first 30 days, that's another check match coming to you. I mean, you know, so it can get very lucrative. Plus you're getting paid the ED level on all the commissions that are coming in. All right. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. All right, so breezing right along, you have your customer acquisition bonuses. We went through that. We went through the bundle pack bonuses. The fifth way that we get paid is on product sales. So another reason why you want to really advocate and push the bundles is because once someone has at least 25 customer points, you get a boost in terms of your residuals. If you have between 0 and 24 points, you're only getting 10% of the commission value. Okay, your upline is going to get most of it. If you have between 25 points and 49 points, you're going to get 15% of the commission value. That's a raise. Your upline is going to get less. If you have more than 50 personal customer points, you're going to get 20% of the commission value. Your upline is only getting 5%. So you want to maximize this, guys. You really want to maximize this. This is why having a lot of customer points does help you. It really does. So that's the fifth thing. And again, the quickest way to get your points, especially in the beginning, you can even do this now. Go ahead and get a bundle pack and get at least 25 points. Not only will you knock out a big requirement in terms of getting promoted, but you're also going to get higher commissions by having all those points. The sixth way we get paid is based on our commission. So basically, guys, let's say you were to sell a product and you're getting paid. Obviously, we get paid a commission value on all products and services. And a lot of times it seems like a small amount. So many times people ask me, hey, Ricardo, how much am I getting paid on X, Y, and Z? So I'm going to actually show you guys, give you guys an example. Okay, I'm actually going to log in my account. I want to be very, very transparent so you guys know exactly what it is. Now, some of you guys may not want to know this much detail, and that's okay. You don't need to know all of this, but I'm putting it out there. So if anybody asks, I could just point them to this video. All right, product point values, commission values, and qualifying points. So I'm going to open this. So I'm going to give you guys an example. This breaks down the default number of points for each product and service. And as you guys should already know, Platinum Discount Network, that's a product. So let's just say, let's pick something with $10. That's an even amount. Business Elite Services. So if, let's just say someone gets Business Elite, let's say you get a Business Elite customer. That pays out a $10 commission value to the team that delivers that product. So let's say you personally put in a Business Elite customer at IMR. You're brand new, you haven't been promoted yet, and you put in a Business Elite customer. Say your sister signs up for Business Elite. It pays a $10 commission value. How much of that $10 will you get? You're not going to get a lot. Here's why. Let's go back. 2% of the $10 is what you get, because this is considered, let me double check this, guys. Is Business Elite considered a business? I think that's considered a business product. So you're actually going to get more than that. Let me see. A good way to check, another way to kind of just check is to go to your personal website, click on products. Is business, oh, Business Elite is a business service. Okay, let's use a different example. Let's use a home service. Let's say ID Guard, okay? ID Guard is definitely a home service. So let's say you get an ID Guard customer that pays $2 to the team that delivers that product. Here's why it's not that lucrative. It's a home service. So getting a home service, you're gonna get 2% of $2. So 2% of $2, I'm actually gonna bring out my calculator. I don't think you could see my calculator, but 2% of $2 is 4 cents. You're only gonna get 4 cents per month on the ID Guard, okay? As an IMR. So it's not a whole lot of money, but here's what the company does. As you're building up, but the thing is, your upline Diamond is gonna get 65%. Your upline ND is gonna get 15%. Your ED is gonna get 5%. This is why it's so important to get promoted. So even though you're only getting 4 cents, your upline Diamond off that ID Guard is gonna get $2 times 0.65. Your upline Diamond is gonna get, let's see, my math is horrible. $2, one. Your upline Diamond is gonna get $1.30. So that's why many of course, the platinums, double platinums, and diamonds are getting 5 to 6 figures per month because they went through all of this in order to get to where they're at. So you want to make sure that in the beginning, of course, you want to get your points, but you want to make sure you're getting your bonuses on your way up to getting these levels. But on business customers, let's go back to Business Elite. If you get a Business Elite customer, well, guess what? Even as an IMR, you're going to get 50% on that commission value. So as you see here, Business Elite Services, this is a business product that pays out $10 in commissions, 10 bucks. So you're going to get half of that. You're going to get 50%. That's $5 per month. So you're going to get $5 per month on that, even as an IMR. Okay. And of course that adds up. That's just one customer. As an ET, you would get a little bit more than that, ED more, ND more, and it continues to go up for the Diamond, whoever delivers that product. Okay, so I want you guys to make sure that you understand your residual commission value. Okay, all right. Number 7, of course, customer points. You get customers. You get a minimum of 50 customers. It's $250 a month. 100 customers is $500 a month. Awesome. You want to make sure you get there. Number 8, monthly bonus pool. So if you're the number one ED, ND, or SVP, all right, I think it's done quarterly. It says every month. Might be every month. Every month, apparently, you have the chance to earn an additional $3,000. If you're the number one ED in terms of how many open line IMRs you put in, all right, as your team, open line, you're going to get $3,000. If you're number 2, $1,500. Number 3, $1,200, and you guys can read. So here's the thing. Let's say you're an ND, but you happen to be let's say you're number 1 ND, but you're number 3 in ED, because it's possible that you could get both. So you're going to get $3,000 for being number 1 ND, but if you're number 3 ED, you're going to get another $1,200. That's $4,200. And so that's why when you've gone to nationals, you see that many people are going up there 2 and 3 times. It's because they're the number one ND, ED, and possibly even the number 1 or 2 or number 8 SVP. So it really adds up. This thing can get really, really lucrative. Number 9 is the platinum pool. So of course, when you're a platinum or above, you get a percentage of every qualified, every qualified IMR, and also every single product that comes into the company. Obviously, as an SVP, you get to go on an SVP vacation. I actually just asked Tupac, because I'm trying to actually find a way to get both of my parents to the Dominican Republic next year after we hit SVP. But anyway, you get a trip for yourself and a significant other, or anybody that you may want to go with you on the SVP trip. You get up to $800 a month on your BMW. As a platinum, you get a dream vacation, you get your Bentley payment, you get $300,000 as a diamond, and $10,000 per month